channel a little Jimmy Johnson, the former Cowboy coach. How about them Mavericks?
Okay, it's been a week, so we've all calmed down.
Cool, I'm fine.
But what the f was that Suns-Mavs Game 7? Seriously, how does a team that won 64 games go down by 46 at home in a Game 7? Like, okay, I know how. The Suns couldn't hit anything and Luka went wild, but man, what a letdown. Two best words in sports, Game 7.
My ass!
But this game got me thinking. What are the other notable letdowns we've seen in NBA history? Because there's a whole bunch of them. These are the top 10 disappointing NBA performances. Number 10, every Blazer not named Damian Lillard. All right, a personal one to start out with, and I promise this will be the last time I mention the Blazers, but God, I gotta rant about this for a second. This was the most sad I've ever been as a Blazer fan. Game 5 of the 2021 first round between the Blazers and the Nuggets went down in history as Dame put on one of the greatest single-game playoff performances of all time. It wasn't just the fact that he scored 45. It wasn't just the fact that he made 12 threes, which was an NBA playoff record. It was the fact that he was hitting these impossible shots and just carrying the Blazers as much as he could. And it felt like he was playing with dudes from the local YMCA. Seriously, the only other Blazer who made a shot in either of the two overtimes was Enes Kanter, and he just made one layup. Robert Covington missed 2 dunks, and CJ killed our chances in the end by stepping out of bounds. I'm sorry, Dame. Moving on. Number 9, J.R. Smith. For one moment alone. Number 8, Ray Allen. Flashback to the 2010 NBA Finals. The series is tied 1-1 going into Game 3. The Celtics were coming off a 9-point win in Game 2 where Ray Allen led the Celtics with 32 points. How did he follow up this exceptional performance? 0 of 13 shooting and 2 points. Anyone surprised the Celtics lost? Number 7, Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson had a wild 1995 playoffs. Anderson, despite being the third option on the Magic, felt like it was a good idea to call out the recently returned Michael Jordan, saying number 45 doesn't explode like 23 used to. Smart move there, Nick. The Magic eventually made it past the Bulls, but in the finals against Houston, those nerves of steel that Anderson had in making those comments, they went the way of the dodo. With the Magic up 3 in Game 1, Anderson, a career 70% free throw shooter mind you, missed 4 consecutive free throws. That's right, he missed 2, but on his second miss, got his own rebound, got fouled again, and missed 2 more. Kenny Smith took advantage, hitting a 3 to send the game to overtime, where the Rockets eventually won. The Rockets ended up sweeping the Magic, with Anderson not scoring more than 12 in any of the last 3 games. Ugh. Number 6, the Houston Rockets. The Rockets actually led this game by 11 at half, in case you forgot. I get the Rockets with D'Antoni and Harden were all about shooting threes or layups, but man, once you miss like 15 in a row, just try something else. The threes clearly aren't falling. Clearly the Rockets disagreed with me because they kept chucking another 12 to make it 27 straight misses. Oh, and when the Rockets were busy building a third little piggy's house out of all those bricks, the Warriors were turning an 11-point halftime deficit into a 13-point lead. Like, come on, Houston, just try some mid-range shots. The threes were not working that day. Number 5, John Starks. Game 7 of the NBA Finals is where legends are made. It's the perfect place to cement your legacy as one of the all-time greats. John Starks did just that. Just not in the way I think he expected. 2 of 18 from the field, 0 of 11 from 3, and only 8 points. Terrible. Not only that, he had 5 fouls and only 2 assists. Pretty much killed the last chance the Knicks had at a championship. Number 4, James Harden. This game was a warning sign that we all just ignored. Nowadays, James Harden playing like shit and shooting only 11 shots, that's a regular occurrence. But this was back in 2017. Game 6 of the conference semifinals at home against the Spurs, who were resting Kawhi and Tony Parker, lest we forget. Should be a slam dunk for the home team to force a Game 7, right? How about a 39-point home loss where your superstar scores 10 points? Like I said, this happened today, whatever. But Harden was in the middle of his scoring prime. And he does this in an elimination game? A harbinger of things to come. Number 3, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is considered by most to be the greatest point guard of all time, wowing audiences with his mesmerizing passes and complete control of his team's offense. In the 1984 Finals, however, Magic he was not. With the Lakers up 1-0 in the series, Magic dribbled out the clock at the end of regulation in Game 2 with the score tied, and the Celtics eventually prevailed in overtime to even the series. Then in Game 4, with the Lakers leading the series 2-1, Magic was trying to get the ball to James Worthy at the end of regulation, but threw an awful pass that was easily intercepted by Robert Parrish. Like Game 2, this one went to overtime where Magic missed a pair of free throws that could have given the Lakers a lead. The Lakers lost Game 4 and eventually the series in 7 games, with Dennis Johnson sealing the Celtics championship by stealing the ball from Magic. A series to forget. Despite the crushing loss, the series motivated Magic, who played the 1985 finals like a man possessed, averaging 26 points, 13 assists, and 8 rebounds as the Lakers exacted revenge on the Celtics. Great stuff, Magic. Number 2, the Phoenix Suns. Might be recency bias, but I don't care. This game takes a high spot. ESPN hyped these 2 Game 7s for 3 days.
3 days!
And both were duds. But at least the Bucks-Celtics game was close for 3 quarters. This game was a mauling. Seriously, I was making dinner when this game was on. I turned away from the TV when the Mavs were up by 18 in the second. I turned back a few minutes later, and it's fucking 30! Like, how? And then in the third quarter, as the Mavs built the lead to 40 plus, it just got really funny, honestly. Like, were the Suns replaced by a JV high school team and nobody noticed? Like, what happened in this game? How does a team go from being so dominant? They finished 8 games clear of the rest of the NBA. Chris Paul aged faster than the villain from The Last Crusade after he drank from the wrong cup. I don't know, but Suns fans, I feel for you. But also, and number 1, LeBron James. Yeah, I love LeBron, especially when he was with the Heat. He was amazing, but this has got to take the number 1 spot. His first season in Miami, and it was looking like LeBron was going to finally get that monkey off his back and win his first championship. He played great in the first 3 rounds, including hitting some huge shots to help the Heat win Game 5 on the road in Chicago to advance to the finals. And then LeBron averaged only 17 points per game in the finals, including 4 consecutive fourth quarters where he scored 2 points or less. That run included Game 4, where he scored only 8 points. The series that was supposed to be the Kings' crowning achievement became his biggest failure. Like Magic, LeBron was able to right the wrongs of 2011, but this performance was so bad that a lot of people are outright unwilling to consider LeBron as the greatest player of all time because of how bad this one series was. And when a performance is that bad, how else can it take anything else but the number 1 spot? And that's the list. What disappointing performances in NBA history did I miss? Leave them down in the comments down below. If you have any suggestions for future lists, leave those down below as well. We're always looking for new things to talk about. And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.